Alright, what's up, guys? Jay and Cody Show. So what's going on today, man?
Not a whole lot. Bracing myself for this winter wonderland we're about to have this evening. And, maybe this evening and this morning.
It might just be in
tomorrow
an
morning.
hour.
Yeah, which, I mean, they're saying that it's supposed to be really bad, and looking on the radar a couple days ago, it was supposed to be pretty bad. But if it's only going to last an hour...
No, I mean in an hour. It's supposed to hit.
Oh, really?
That's what I was told.
Oh, mine said at 5.
Mine said at 3.
And it's 2:30 right now.
Half an hour. Yeah, mine said at 3. It's supposed to
okay.
start with the freezing rain and the
I didn't see that.
dick sucking and all that.
That's already started.
Yeah. No, I love it, but I hate it. There's nothing worse than like no internet.
I was gonna say, and you're gonna lose power.
I mean, and losing power. The whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole
right.
kit and caboodle of dick.
Lucky for me, I don't rely on internet. I rely on power.
Yeah, you rely on power.
But
that's not really lucky. You're still fucked.
Right.
And I mean, let me educate you and everyone else on this. It's a weird thing. But did you know that if we lose, let's say like regular internet goes out, 4G goes out as well.
Right.
Yeah, your satellites, all that shit, that all gets all fucked up and cuzzle fucked and...
Yep.
Yeah. Fucked.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it'll be that bad. I really don't. I mean...
I don't either. And from my thing, it only looked like it was going to last a couple hours. From what I saw on mine.
Pull up the doppler and check this thing out. 'Cause I don't know, I just don't...
I didn't check the Doppler, I just
checked. That's what you gotta check, 'cause how do you know it's gonna come?
Well, I was just looking on my, thingamajig. Actually, on that, now it says 3 hours.
It's what I'm saying. That's how they get you.
Or hour.
You're like, oh, it's not gonna be bad, and it just keeps like, it'll only be an hour. Oh, now it says 2 hours. Now it says 3 hours. Or you know what?
Kansas Doppler.
You know what I've discovered?
What'd you discover?
This show called Separation Anxiety.
Yeah?
I love it. It is the coolest show. They take, they basically separate these, you know, Elisha Sillinger, whatever her fucking last name is. She has a show, it's on TBS, and it's like a game show, which I'm not typically like, well, no, I'll be honest, I like game shows. I never want to like game shows, but I do like game shows. Anyway, they take these people, like a couple, or even just like really good friends, and they separate them, and they play for like a shit ton of money. One knows, one doesn't know.
Yeah.
The one picks the category of questions for the other one. It's a whole thing, but it's really funny, is really what a lot of it is. Like, there's a lot of cussing and weed references, and
really?
Yeah, it's also, like, I couldn't believe shit. How many times I've heard shit on that show. Yeah. And weed references. Like, a fuck ton of weed references.
Like what?
Oh, like the one guy who he's the co-host. Adam something or other. Yeah. Adam Slappy Nuts, anyway. He, like, the last episode I saw, he was, like, talking about the fact that, like, he's still high. Like,
nice.
That's fucking great. I mean, it's real. You don't get that.
Right.
Yeah, like Pat Sajak never came out and was like, well, I'm a little tipsy right now. No, he wouldn't, you know. Fucking Family Feud be like hugging and kissing people, and people would, you smell like shit.
You smell like whiskey.
But they never, you know. Because it was supposed to, it was a different way
Where's
about
it filmed
things.
at?
What the fuck do I look like? A showrunner? I don't know.
Well,
like, where's it filmed at?
No, I mean, like, what state?
I have no idea.
Well, that could matter.
I'm guessing California.
Why? Why do you just assume?
Because that's where she lives.
Who?
Elijah Sillinger.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, why do you think it's filmed there?
Oh, I'm just guessing she would film a show where she lives. And,
see, maybe she's doing that to throw you off.
Like, why would she pick, like, Denver, where they have, like, no real media?
To bring more media.
I mean, I think it would cost a lot more money to build, like, a studio and all sorts of craziness. So where they're probably just using, like, the old Double Dare studio or whatever. Which that would be awesome, by the way.
Use the money they're gaining from weed to build a new studio.
I probably could.
Yeah.
Now.
Right.
Way better than we're doing. Say that.
Yeah.
We're about to lose all our money in ice.
We're about to not become a state.
We've been that way for a while, though.
Right.
I mean, like for a long while. Could be longer than you've been alive. So what's the Doppler look like?
Oh, well, it looks like we're not really going to get all that much. It looks like just kind of the outer bit.
That's what always happens to us.
It looks like it's just barely... We're going to get some, but everything... It's going to be light.
When's that?
It's light eyes. It didn't say a time. It
What?
didn't. Yeah, no, it didn't.
I feel like you don't know how to use this.
Let me pull it back up. It didn't show a time.
I don't know what 1400 means. That's bullshit. I'm just saying. You ever check out...
Oh, it does up there.
Yeah.
It's really small, though. Jesus.
I've never seen a Doppler that doesn't say the time.
Oh, well, that's bullshit. It cuts off at 2:30.
2:30 p.m.?
Yes.
Well, you gotta find the future one.
Okay.
Good lord, child. I always go into the problem with your generation. But what do you guys do?
I don't look
How
at
do
the
you
Doppler.
know?
I don't care.
But you're the whiny little bitch that cries about tornadoes.
Well,
How do
then
you
I
know
just watch the news. I don't actively look it up.
Ugh.
I don't care that much.
Your generation, I swear.
What?
You have it all. And you use like 2% of it to talk about, Donald Trump on your Facebook. That's what you guys do. In fact, you don't even do that. Most of the time, you just talk about your mom on Facebook. I talk about your mom on Facebook.
Right? You talk
No.
about my mom everywhere.
I'm just saying, you guys have this whole...
Yeah,
It's great.
but if I really don't
It's
care,
fantastic.
why does it matter?
But you should.
Why? For the weather?
Of course you should care about the
it's
weather.
not that big of a deal.
It is.
It's really not.
Okay,
I mean, look, here's the thing. If I hear that it's going to snow or ice tonight, okay, I'll roll with it. If I don't know an exact time, I'm fine with that. I really don't care.
so you have nowhere you need to be.
No.
You're not important. Like, you...
No.
Nobody gives a shit where you're at.
Really, I just
You
don't.
have, like, no friends to hang out with at a certain time.
I do, but
You have no places to be at a certain time.
No, but, well, if I have somewhere to be, yes.
That's why I'm saying.
But...
And you've never came to that problem before.
No, I have. I usually just play it by ear. I don't see the problem here.
That's my thing. Like, if you don't... Like, okay, hey, we're going to go to Wichita tomorrow. Well, we should see what the weather's going to be like. Especially because I heard it's going to be thunderstorms or whatever. And then, if you don't look into it...
Yeah, but if it's thunderstorms, who cares? I'm going to drive through that.
Man, that's how a lot of people end up in accidents and...
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. A lot of fucking people fucking hydroplane and shit because they're fucking, I don't care. Blah, blah, blah. I'll go 90. Fuck it.
Oh, well,
my
there's your
tires
problem,
can
though.
handle it. No, but or they get caught up in tornadoes. You hear about that shit all the time.
All right.
Yeah, they weren't paying attention. They don't know.
Right.
Fucking one of our friends almost got flooded out because she wasn't paying attention.
Oh, yeah, but she's kind of a ditz. I really
But
think
what makes her a ditz?
No, I really think you're making a bigger deal of this than it is.
I'm not.
No,
It's
you
a
really
simple,
are.
It's a simple thing like checking time.
No.
That's all. That's
It's
what
just
it
not
is.
that big of a deal.
It's just as simple as checking time. I'm not making
It's
making a
simple.
big deal about you not knowing how to do something basic. That's all I'm saying.
What do you mean I don't know how to do it? I just did it.
From the past, you got to do the future.
Why does this matter?
See, this is a defense mechanism that you're building up here. You're like, it doesn't matter because you don't know how, because you didn't do it. But the real reality is the fact that you didn't do it. That's what it's about. Not the fact that it doesn't matter. That's what I think is the big issue here.
Okay.
Regardless,
Okay.
we have been told, with this anyway, that it's supposed to be like all weekend. And you told me recently it was only supposed to be like an hour, but I don't know because I've heard New York's gonna have shit over this. So it's got to be a lot longer than an hour if New York's gonna get fucked. I don't know. Regardless of that,
Piece of shit.
my big concern, and I think it should be my big concern, honestly, because I pretty much don't plan to do shit tomorrow, but is how it's going to affect football tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And the day after, and Sunday.
Yeah.
Also, if I'll be able to watch football tomorrow. That's probably more my concern than anything else. I mean, not that I give a shit about the Texans-Patriots game, but... And to be honest, I guess it won't affect Seattle tomorrow. It shouldn't. Not in Atlanta. That'd be fucking awesome if Atlanta was frozen. All these fucking people showing up in like short shorts and shit. Like, it's fucking Atlanta. It's all hot and shit down here.
Right.
Just fucking freezing their ass off. Like the stadium can't handle it because they don't have heaters. That would be great. And Atlanta has never gotten to the playoffs before, so they've never had to deal with that kind of weather. That to me would be funny as shit. But no, I guess it's more like Sunday. Like, because what I first heard was, it's like, oh, it's supposed to be fucking all weekend. We're gonna have ice like all fucking Saturday, and Sunday is still gonna be shitty. That's what I first heard. I don't fucking know anymore. Because I also heard it's supposed to start tonight, and then I heard a couple hours, and then whatever. But for Sunday, that really will affect, because Steelers in Kansas City.
Right.
If it is icy and shitty then, all my Chief fans, friends are fucked.
You think?
Fuck
yeah, I guess you're right.
Don't you? I mean...
Yeah. Their run game's kind of shit.
And I think the defense of the Steelers, run defense, is stronger.
Yeah.
You know, than the run defense.
So they really have to rely on passing.
Right. And like weird fucking... Like, that's the thing with the Chiefs, is it's like... we'll like score like on an intercepted like 2-point conversion, shit like that. Like they went off of weird shit like that, but they can't count on that weird shit. Or like I bet it'd be really hard for
Tyreek Hill. Alex
yeah, killing premature baby guy.
Sure.
If it's hard for him to return kicks and stuff because it's all icy and shit. Take his speed out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I guess that's the big concern. Also, if I'll be able to watch the game, which I said before, but that one still comes into play.
I'm hoping so.
I don't know. I
think the only games I really want to see are Seattle Falcons, and then Chiefs Steelers.
You don't want to see the Packers Dallas?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Do you want to see pretty much all the games except for the one?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be terribly upset if I don't see the Packers-Cowboys game, to be honest.
By the way, though, just quick mention.
Yeah.
What, really?
Yeah.
That's going to be a great game. Why won't you...
I don't think it will be, but...
What? Because you think
I just have this
Green
feeling.
Bay's going to beat the shit out of him?
Yeah. Honestly, I do. I just have this feeling. I really don't think...
Are you a Cowboys fan?
No, I like Dak and Zeke. But I'm not like a fan.
You're not like secretly pulling for them really hard? Because I know a lot of Cowboys fans, like that's been their thing. It's like, man, we're fucked this week. Like they're all quiet about their Cowboys.
Not really.
I mean, think they'll be fine.
I mean, it would be cool to see Dak and Zeke go, like, since they're rookies. It'd be cool. I mean, especially since I'd like to see him beat the Packers. I hate Rodgers.
Fucking hate
But
Rodgers.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I mean, I hope it doesn't. Well, it all depends. For me, again, if Seattle wins tomorrow,
right,
then yes, I want to see the Packers win. But if Seattle loses, then I want to see the Packers lose.
Right.
I mean, because then it's just, I give a shit. I mean, I hate the Packers.
I don't know who I'm going to go. I probably will end up going for the Cowboys if the Seattle goes out.
Yeah, I mean,
I refuse to go for the Patriots or the Packers. Texans will get beat out. Can't go for the Chiefs.
I would go for the Chiefs if it happened that way.
Really?
Yeah. If the Falcons are still in it, I'll probably go for them because they beat my team. That takes a lot, kind of, to do that at home. Are you dabbing or sneezing?
Both.
But to answer your first question, that is when it matters, though. Weather-wise.
No, yeah.
If you're going to be able to watch TV.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing. Here's a question. And we're just kind of going off whatever, but do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
Have you ever had like a ghost experience?
I don't know. is the thing. I kind of want to say yes. Like, I kind of feel like my room may be a little haunted. But I'm also not going to go all Christine on it. And, like, have the room blessed and stuff.
Alright, well, I kind of got to stop you. Or not stop you, question. How old is your house?
I'm really not sure.
And, like, do you know if anything's happened there?
No, I don't. And, like, I'm not... Here's the thing. I'm not, like, oh my god, my house is haunted. I mean, I've seen a lot of different videos that are kind of weird that I don't know how else to explain.
Oh, like the little boy in the cemetery, did you see that? With the boy jumping through the tree?
No.
See, if we had a real producer,
I haven't
he would have a computer screen, and
right.
he'd bring it up and he'd play it.
No, I haven't seen that. But, like, just shit flying off the table for, like, no apparent reason.
Shit,
and,
like, flying off the table?
Yeah. Like, I saw this one yesterday.
Okay, like, you're just sitting here, so it's like this, you're just hanging out, and it just goes like that?
No, not like with me. I mean, like, on videos that I've seen. No, with me. It's not that extreme. But, like, so I know what it sounds like when I walk on my carpet, and there's been multiple nights where, like, I'll be laying in bed, and you know how, like, your house will kind of settle? I get that. My shower does that every now and then.
Yeah.
But it sounded like, and it's dark in there, so I can't see, but it sounded like someone opened up the door and, like, shut it. Not, like, hard, but it's not quiet. And it wasn't like a settling sound. It was like, douche. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And then my PS4 turned on, for starters.
That happens with the PS4, by the way.
Okay, well, cool.
Here's what you got to do. Because that actually becomes an issue. Like,
Okay.
This is a real problem.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not kidding.
Okay.
It happens to be a problem with people that use discs instead of downloads.
Okay.
Do you turn it off or do you leave it on rest mode?
I leave it on rest mode.
Oh, that's not good.
Why? You said to leave it on rest
That's
mode.
the fix. Is to leave it on rest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's only done it once.
Yeah, that's how it happens. And then it starts all the time.
Really?
Yeah, there was a point, like, where... Do you leave the disc in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, maybe I should take it out?
It'll still... No, it'll happen more.
Really?
Well, I think. I don't know. I leave mine... I used to turn it all the way off, you know? And then I'd come in and, like... Thankfully, I'd be, like, taking a piss or something, and my PS4 would be on, and the disc would be, like...
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, I've been, like, all the time, and it'd be like, fuck, this is ruining my shit. Because they're not supposed to, like, fire on and off like that. It's really bad for them. Yeah, it's here's what you can do. And this is how I fixed mine, how it stopped. I did a combination of 4 different things, and I don't know which one worked. Like, when I started leaving it on rest mode all the time instead of turning it off, that helped a lot.
Okay.
Then I got 4, like, little game cases or CD cases, whatever you want, and I put them under each pad. Because someone talked about how, like, it's so low, like, the little bottom is so low that it picks up static electricity.
Really?
And that made sense to me.
Yeah.
So did that. Then there's also a process, and you have to look it up online. It's actually really easy to do. It's hard to explain it. Where you actually pop the top of the PS4 off, you flip it over on the back, and there's a screw down there. And apparently it can come loose, and it affects turning it on. So I tightened that thing down, did all those steps and whatever, leave it, and it doesn't do it anymore. But that's a real fucking problem. Like, after, it can really fuck you up. It can, like, actually irritate your games, like, so you can scratch them while it's on and shit like that, like, all sorts of... Yeah.
It's really weird, by the way. I just watched that video about the cemetery kid.
Oh, you watched the cemetery
That's
kid?
really freaky.
Let me see it. I haven't seen it in so long.
I just closed out of it.
You're
I'm
such a
sorry.
dick.
No, but then there's another thing where, like, so I have my, like, bag, like, it's just like a duffel bag, kind of, that I'll carry my PS4 and stuff back in when I move it. And I have it sitting, like, in the hallway, kind of. And so it sounded kind of like light footsteps. And then it, like, rustled. But it sounded like it was by the bathroom coming closer, and then it rustled. I was like, okay, that's a little unsettling.
That is weird.
It is really weird. And, like, every now and then, it hasn't done this for a while, but, like, a few months ago, I'd go in my bathroom, and, like, I know this may sound bad of me, but, like, the toilet seat would be down. I never put it down for no, and I'd ask Brandon, I'd be like, did you use the bathroom?
You mean take a shit?
What?
Even when you take a shit, you don't put the toilet seat down?
No, I mean, like, the top part.
Oh. Well, I put the whole thing down when I take a shit.
Oh. Don't.
I just leave it as a present for whoever else is coming.
But I'd be like, hey, did you use the bathroom? He's like, no, I haven't been in your room. Well, that's weird. And then I get in the shower, and like the door, it'd be slightly ajar. Okay, whatever. But then the
You're
shower
hoping Brandon's mom comes in.
right. But then
Or Brandon.
the shower head would be either completely up or completely down. I'm like, what the fuck? Who's fucking with my stuff? And
Fucking Bigfoot's coming in and
Right.
using your shower.
well, but like, I thought, okay, well maybe it's Sky.
Ah, yeah.
It's not, because Brandon's room is adjacent to mine, and he would see or hear Sky if he went in there.
What if he just went in when you guys were both gone?
Well, that's the thing. We monitored it for a little while, and it was happening even when Brandon was home, like where he would be able to see Sky.
He might be. I mean, listen, and I'm only doing this because of the fact, like, I asked you the question,
Right.
But it's one of those things like people get, they'll bust my balls on this, because of the religion thing. 'Cause I'm like, I'm an atheist, and I probably am. I don't know. I really don't know what I am.
Yeah.
To be fair, and like my parents were busting my ass about this yesterday, day before. I think it was the day before, because my kid wanted to go to church, and I was like, no, you don't want to go to church. Like, he's dumb. I mean, he's not dumb. I mean, he's a 4-year-old.
Right.
So,
doesn't
like,
know.
he thinks church is cool or fun.
Right.
It looks like this big, massive building. It looks like there's
Sure.
maybe knights and dragons in there. Who the fuck knows what's...
Right.
You know, and I'm like, no, trust me, you don't... there's nothing but sitting there and listening to some old man. And, like, I was like, well, you're definitely not going to Catholic church.
Yeah.
And, which is funny, because, like, we're Catholic, and, like, my parents, like, took an offense. Like, they're like, well, what's wrong with Catholic church? I'm like, guys, seriously? Like, I just lobbed that out there. He's a little boy, Catholic, ugh. Don't get shit, fuck. They don't play around when it comes to religion, like, it's...
But what does that have to do with ghosts?
Hold on. They bust my ass on the whole religion thing, because they're like, well, if God doesn't exist, then how can there be ghosts? How can there be afterlife if there's no God? And you know what? They're right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't fucking know. But, and I'm not even sure on the whole ghost thing.
Yeah.
But there's weird shit that happens every now. You
That's what
can't
I'm
explain
saying.
it, and it's fucking, like, and a lot of it's the most interesting thing. Like, I don't think any of your friends have kids, or any of them,
Yeah.
but once they do, or you know some people with kids, ask them about some, like, weird ghost shit with your kids. Everybody has a weird fucking
I know.
story with their kid.
And
Like, mine is, okay, my grandpa, who's an awesome dude, but he died 2 or 3 years before Jameson was born, right? Well, when Steph and I went back to work, and Jameson was like, well, when Steph went back to work, school, work, yeah, I'm paying her to work. Sorry, but Jameson would go to my grandma's, and he was like 1 or whatever. He's a little kid. He would go and look at her picture books and just go through, like, looking at family and shit like that. He would always point at my grandpa, who he's never seen, never known, whatever, and he'd be like, there's Grandpa. How the fuck do you know that? And we don't talk about him. You know, like, they were close. They were married for, like, 60 years or something. Like, I know they were over 50 years. And so we don't really talk about Grandpa in front of Grandma, because it's just kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Because I could see people being, well, if you talked about him, maybe that would be in the kid's head. No, we never really talk about Grandpa. I mean, and so that's really weird that he just he could point out young pictures of him. Pictures I didn't. Like, if I looked at him, they'd be like, who's that? I'd be like, might be Grandpa. Like, but he knew, like, oh, that's Grandpa. And pick another picture, that's Grandpa. Yeah,
That's weird.
And then one night, and this is our old house. I think, do you remember our old house at all? How
Yeah,
it was, like,
I do.
kind of small.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went in. It was probably like 9:30, and I went into Jameson's room, and he's standing on his dresser, and he's like, his head is like poking against the window, looking out. I'm like, kid, what the fuck are you doing? I pull him down. I'm like, what were you doing? He's like, I was talking to Grandpa. I'm like, Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
So, like, I head out of my house, and I'm like, I got my Lucille with me, my baseball bat, and I'm like, looking around. So, like, someone's fucking with my family. I'm gonna fuck them up.
Right.
And I actually thought it was my Mexican neighbor.
Oh.
And, you know, whatever. And I'm, like, looking around, and nothing's there. Go all around the house, go, like, everywhere looking. I don't find anybody. And then my Mexican neighbor, I see him smoking on his porch. So I go up and talk to him, and I'm like, hey, have you seen anyone around my house? And he's like, I just stepped out. And he did. Like, I saw him come out to have a cigarette. And he's like, no, I just stepped out, but no, I don't. No, nothing. And so I went back in and talked to Jameson. I'm like, well, you know, where was Grandpa? And he pointed up towards, like, the moon. Weird as shit. Like, I can't explain it all.
That is weird.
Even talking about him now, he isn't fucking. He's like, ugh.
Really?
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, can you point out Grandpa in the picture? And he's just like, like,
really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
So it's almost like there's this weird time in a kid's life,
right,
where they can see ghosts and shit. I don't know. I mean,
and you gotta wonder how much of it maybe is an overactive imagination, but like that's not overreact. No, that's like, if you know someone, that's weird.
Yeah, and if it was just like he talked to him, okay,
yeah.
He could have made someone up and called him Grandpa, which is weird, but
right,
you know, something
but like
Christine would do now.
Pick out two different people.
Yeah.
When they look different, and they're the same guy, obviously.
But two different times in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. No, and I've seen all these videos about, you know, like, cabinets swinging open. And, like, just the other day I was watching, this little girl was doing her homework. And, like, the paper started to kind of flutter. And it's like somebody just picked them and threw them. And then, like, she ran out to get her dad. And, like, the dad kind of came in and was looking like, well, what are you talking about? And, like, the coffee table started shaking and, like, scooting.
See, and those, I'm not sure I believe too much. But I don't know.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
See, like, I don't feel like if there is ghosts, spirits, and trust me, I am super, super, like, critical on these. I'm like, ugh, come on.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're evil or bad or whatever. Like, I don't see that side of it.
I don't know.
And maybe that's because I don't watch horror films and
right.
my, you know, like, the scariest shit I watch is Ghost Dad, which in real life, that's fucking scary. If you think about Bill Cosby being a spirit.
But, I mean, keep in mind, the only ones that get videoed and, like, put on the internet are the ones that are freaky.
Oh, you can actually look up, that's what got me down this whole rabbit hole. You can actually look up, like, videos on people telling stories about, like, what their kids have seen and shit. Those, for me, are more like, whoa.
Yeah, no,
like,
I know.
they send shivers, like, because it's like, oh, that's weird.
But, like, mine wouldn't get a lot of hits.
No,
Nothing.
but it's fucking weird.
It is weird.
And it's more legit to me than, like, I don't know, a Voss flying
like,
through the...
No, and I mean,
a
like...
rich Voss.
Right. Like, here's my thing. I'm with you, where I'm kind of like, I can see how some of these could be made up, but some of it I just
and that's
can't.
true. That's true. Like, if there's just no... And you,
I mean,
like that kid jumping, that ghost boy,
right.
whatever that was. Okay, that is fucking...
Or like when all the cabinets start flipping and banging open. Like, how would you rig that? Like, that would be tough. Or like, you know, lights flickering and shit.
What I like to look at in those is like if the camera's shaking.
Why?
Well, because if it could just be an earthquake.
No. I mean, you would know if it was an earthquake.
Well, I don't know.
If nothing, if the no, because if the cabinets are flipping, open, close, but like nothing on the tables moving, like that.
Okay, yeah,
that's definitely not.
Which I was stupid, but you can set them up that way though.
Yeah.
Because like if they joint back, like if you hit them open so far and they come back, they could actually have a spring in them.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean,
I had some of those.
It's always just kind of someone's word against another. But really, like you see the videos on the internet, and I'm a little less inclined to believe them. But like if it was someone that I knew, I'd be more inclined to believe them, unless they're absolutely crazy. And if it's not like an over-the-top, like vases were flying past my head, my TV got knocked like that, I'd be a little bit more like,
My thing, like, it's not that, like, I think someone's outright deliberately lying.
Yeah.
Like Christine, for instance. And I know we brought her up multiple times during this as a joke. But I think she really believes it.
well, yeah.
And so she thinks she's telling me the truth, but I'm like, nah, you just want to believe this.
Right.
That's,
Well, and here's the thing.
that's 90% where I'm at.
She's also really good at exaggerating and letting her mind run with things. So I think she got that first sign of, hey, maybe my house is haunted, and just kind of took it from there. And I think she blew it way out of proportion.
Well, here's the thing. Every house that she's ever lived in, or every apartment, or whatever, have all been haunted.
Right, yeah.
Like, she's the one that, like, told us about how you blessed your house and whatever.
Yeah.
Or, no, I think it was...
No, that was her.
She had called me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like during one of our epic 3-hour conversations on the phone.
Yeah.
Which, I love you, Christine, but Jesus Christ, I am not a high school girl anymore. Not since the sex change.
Right. I think she just wants it to be haunted.
Yeah, no, I think so. Because she's one of those people, and again, she's a great friend of mine.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
love her to death. But she does love the drama.
She does. She loves it. And she says she doesn't, but come on.
She likes there to be obstacles
in
her path. Like,
right.
Yeah, I'm one of those people, I don't want any problems at all.
Right.
You know, I don't like my life to be entertaining in any way possible, except for on a TV screen.
I love the fact this started off arguing about the weather app, and now we've just consumed the entire show with ghost-related stuff. So
well, that's actually where I was going with.
Yeah.
But I was just at a disarray that you had no idea how to use the Doppler. And I'm just saying it's your generation. I mean, the fucking old guy that was just in here we were talking to, he was like, oh yeah, the Doppler says it's supposed to be snowy until Sunday at noon. Like, see? He knows more than I do. The more you get older, the more you give a shit about the weather.
Wow.
But here's my thing though. Where this all came from is I happened to be talking to my parents about, it was weird to me this happened. So, 2 nights ago, I'm going to take a bath, right? Now I'm listening to some old Opie and Anthony, just loving it. And a lot of times I always get myself a bubble bath. Love the bubble bath.
Me too.
You know? And I'll take my Bluetooth speaker. I've got like 5 in the house that are all around, but I don't have one in the bathtub or in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And so I unplugged it, put it on the stand in the bathroom, and I've taken my bath listening to maybe jerking off to Opie, but you know, that's not the point. Anyway, and you know, my house is, and I didn't know this, my house used to be a hospital wing.
Really?
It did.
It's
it was
not connected.
actually connected to the hospital, or where you go to school now. It was on the side of it. The other, like, there's that part, and then there's another house, and the other house is actually by where Dairy Queen used to be. It's actually over there. They're actually the same.
So they're just separate buildings.
They're bookend houses that were wings of
Really?
the building. Yeah, of the hospital.
That's
Didn't
weird.
know this.
Is that house right by your house, that white one? Because that looks like that could be a...
It's actually not that old.
That looks like...
I mean, it's like about 100 years old.
That looks like that could be like a hospital something or other.
Yeah, I think it was actually just like an apartment complex before. But yeah, I had no idea my house used to be a hospital. But anyway, I'm in there. I'm just taking a bath and whatever. And it's creaky. It's fucking... I think it's the 4th oldest house or whatever in our town. And I hear Steph walking up into the restroom, and I lock the door because, like, again, I have an old shitty house, and if you don't lock it, the door just opens.
Oh.
And it was fucking cold, so I wanted to keep the heat in.
Right.
And I hear like a pressure, like a push against the door. And I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, well, I need to get out anyway. I've been in here for a minute. I was listening to how Anthony, his life could be a movie, and they were casting people for it, so I thought it was funny. And it was actually before Michael Cera was a person. Like, really, they were talking about, like, oh, that kid from that movie. Like, you know.
Nice.
It's funny. Anyway, so I get out, and I 100% expect to see Steph sitting on the couch, just waiting for me. She wasn't there.
It's weird.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's weird. And I go to bed, because I'm planning to anyway. And Jameson and her are just passed out. Like, they're... And it was literally like 2 minutes from her trying to get... Her, quote-unquote, trying to get into the restroom and me getting out. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? So I was just telling my family about that, and they're like, You see, he told you God exists. Like,
Wait,
well,
what?
Well, listen, just because I don't know, maybe I'm just saying, fucking ghost stories. Anyway, so it got me down this loop, and I was like looking at like all these ghost stories and shit like that, and like I got into like where kids, like people with their kids, they have the craziest. Kids see the weirdest things.
I'm gonna look up and see if anything's happened in my house.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine something has in mine now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fucking hospital. Fucking dead people everywhere, probably. I don't know. But and every one of my houses I've lived in here in this town, anyway, have all been old as shit. So
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna take a break.
There's a miscommunication.
Sorry,
there for a moment.
yeah, we're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back on part 2 of 2.